This is Random Thoughts again, and I'm still reading the diary by Richard Meinertzhagen, the guy who is said to have shot Koitalel Arab Samoa. And this is a diary that covers his stay in Kenya between 1902 and 1906. And there are so many interesting things in this diary. Of course, much of it is just routine stuff, but then there are a few very interesting entries you can find in the diary. This diary was published in 1957 as a book, and that's how it has survived to be read today. Now, in the diary, he does make an entry on the 28th of October 1903, and it's about him hearing about reports that there were consideration to give the Jewish people some part of Kenya so that it is their homeland country. And this is interesting because he himself was Jewish, and other sources do put him in Israel at some point, where he say that he did play some roles at the beginning of what we know today as the state of Israel. And then he makes these comments that I'm going to read, and I found it to be very interesting. And this is what he says. He says, Tet was one of an officer who we used to work with. Tet tells me there is a plan on foot to offer the Jews a home on the Uasin Gishu Plateau. I hope they refuse it, for it is just asking for trouble. In the first place, the Jews' home is in Palestine, not in Africa. The scheme will only add to political confusion, and God knows there will be enough trouble here in 50 years when the natives get educated. Also, the Jews are not good mixers, never have been. They have their own religion, customs, and habits, and will constitute a most indigestible element in East Africa if they came in any numbers. Why not persuade the Turks to give them Palestine? The Arabs are doing nothing with it, and the Jews, with their brains and dynamic force, will be a tremendous asset to Turkey. Now, of course, during this time, things were not the way they are today. Of course, there was no state of Israel then. Of course, that's why he's making this statement, and that's why there were kind of like consideration to have the Jews get some land in East Africa where they could establish their own state. And also another thing that has changed is that the part we know today as Palestine used to be under the rule of the Turks, at this point at least. So he's saying that maybe they should talk to the Turks, who can give them a piece of land in Palestine, where, according to his belief, is where the Jews belong. And and he says that he hopes that they decline that offer. And yeah, other sources have said that there was actually that consideration. The British were playing a significant role in trying to have the Jews get a land in East Africa. But the Jews did not accept that offer ultimately, and that plan did not go any further. So actually there was that consideration. And so I found this entry to be very interesting. Those are my random thoughts.